Hello. Thank you for stopping by. I have a beautiful feminine journal to share with you all today. This journal is for sale and will be listed in my Etsy shop, so be sure to check the link below if you are interested in having this one for your very own. I have used a napkin that was decoupaged onto cardstock as the front embellishment panel, then added some die cuts that I nested together, and then hand wrote the word journal. On the back you will see some extended hexagons that I have cut from a runner that I found at the thrift store, and it just makes the perfect little element to add to a junk journal. Roses is kept closed with this gorgeous iridescent ribbon. It is more pink on one side. Let's hold it up and see if you can tell. And then when we flip it over, it's much more green. And this is just wrapped around and tied. It slips very, very easily off the top when you want to open up your journal. Roses has 5 signatures with 160 pages, is 4 3/4 inches wide and 6 inches tall, with a spine that measures 1 5/8 inches. The front page of each signature has a little collage and one of those elongated hexagons used as a tab. I have also used some die cuts that are made using a waffle flower die that I found. It gives that beautiful scalloped edge there, and then the piercing, and it just gives such a delicate, beautiful look that's perfect for this journal. You will see a lot of my hand-dyed laces throughout, as well as some hand-dyed linen fabric, and of course the pages have been hand-dyed or hand-painted as well. I've also used washi flakes to decorate the pages. It's a beautiful way to have some extra interest and color, and it doesn't add any bulk at all. There are some die cuts throughout also, and here's some of that gorgeous ribbon that we used to keep the journal closed, and that's just been woven through the holes at the edge of the ledger paper. There are several different types of paper used throughout the journal. There's tracing paper, 20-pound copy paper, 32-pound paper, and also graph paper. There we have the center of the first signature. Nice little pocket with one of those beautiful cards tucked in there. Oh, and I forgot to say ledger paper as well. And this is some of my hand-dyed linen. This is taken from a tablecloth that I found at the thrift store. It's a beautiful, heavy, heavy linen. Absolutely wonderful. And it makes a great tab. And here's the first page of the second signature with its little hexagon tab. A nice little simple collage done onto patterned paper. Some lace that is applied so that it peeks over the edge so you can see it when you flip the page. Here's some more lace, and this I have not dyed, I've just left it as is. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has a beautiful, beautiful sheen, and it's embroidery that's been done on a very soft net ground. It's actually a little bit wider than what you see on the front of this pocket. I have tucked the header and a little tiny bit of the lace down inside, and then applied more of that gorgeous ribbon with a row of liquid pearls, just to give a little added interest and to echo the sheen of that gorgeous, gorgeous lace. Another one of those little cards using the waffle flower die. And some more washi flakes. Beautiful hand-painted tracing paper. I did not use a strip to wrap around the page, but instead used two separate pieces, and that gives it a little bit more interest. You have those ragged edges, so it looks nicely shabby chic, and just gives a little bit more interest. Here's a hand-dyed doily with a die cut. And two pieces of cardstock that have been connected using washi tape and stitched into the signature. We've got washi tape front and back just to give it a nice sturdy place for the stitching to go through. Some more of that beautiful, beautiful ribbon that I just love. This is a fun tracing paper page. It really turned out lovely. It's got a lot of texture to it. There's plenty of space in here for journaling, obviously. A little double tuck spot. And now we have the beginning of the middle signature. And this collage is done with a very wide piece of purple silk ribbon. It's a silk satin ribbon. And I've frayed the edges and then layered up some fabric leaves along with 3 die cuts that I've layered after altering with gel pens and paint pens. And there's also a little bit of liquid pearls used in there as well. It's just so delicate and feminine. I really, really love it. This paper clip is holding on an envelope that's also been dyed. So that's a place to tuck something away that you don't want seen, or maybe little mementos that are small enough to fit in an envelope that you don't want to glue into the journal, and that'll keep track of them very, very nicely. Here we've got a fussy cut tuck spot with some parchment paper. And this is this piece here was cut using a decal edge die, and that's a Spellbinders die. That's another one that's very, very useful. I really, really like it. Then I have this Tsunami Rose ticket that I've used for an additional tuck spot on top of the main one. And here is part of a rectangular or square doily that my mom gave me years ago. And I kept it in its package all these years. And when I started dyeing and staining papers, I got that out and dyed that one. And it's really very, very lovely. Nice big area to journal. And now we have the beginning of our 4th signature. I had over-dyed this beautiful paper with a pale green, and I thought I was going to use it in a different journal, but I didn't really wind up having the space for it, so I kept it. And then when I was making this one, I realized it would be absolutely perfect. So I fussy cut around it, layered it on top of a beautiful piece of sheer red ribbon, and it just makes a gorgeous, gorgeous front page for that signature. Here we've got another tuck spot with some lace on the top and more of that beautiful ribbon, more of my hand-dyed lace. I like the washi flake in the center of the doily. I think that's fun. And this is neat too because you can see the watermark in the paper. I think that the camera is picking that up. And then you can also see sort of a ghost image of the die cut, which is actually on the flip side of this page. So that's kind of fun. Here's another sweet little tuck spot with some parchment paper for journaling and a little bow. I had a different bow that I was going to use and it was just way too thick. So I took that one off and just tied a little bit of thread around this beautiful silk ribbon and popped it on underneath that rose. Here's a belly band with a journaling card. More die cuts. And the beginning of our last signature. I think this one might be my favorite. I'm not sure. I like all of them, but I think this is just gorgeous. So I've layered up my hand-dyed cheesecloth with a gorgeous Anna Griffin paper that I cut using my waffle flower die, and then added this piece of trim. This is a Mokuba trim. Years and years ago, when I first started doing crazy quilting, we visited some friends in New York and I was so excited. I had grand plans of going to the Mokuba store and buying a yard of this and a yard of that, only to discover when I got up there that the store is open only to people who are purchasing wholesale. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. But then I came home and I ordered some online. And it's just a lovely, lovely trim, little flowers all in a row. Very pretty. And I figured this was a special journal and it deserved some of that beautiful special trim. Another little tuck spot there with one of those extended hexagon elements from that table runner, a little bit of silk ribbon, some hand-dyed lace, and just another little element there. I love the sound that that tracing paper makes when you turn it. Another tuck spot. This lace is a little bit different. This is really, really pretty. That's a lovely lace. For some reason, it took the die much differently along the edge than it did further down, which is sort of fun. We've got another little belly band, and I used the center of the oval waffle flower die in that set, and then just put a sweet little button in the center. This button is from a button box that I got when I went with my father to an auction. And I thought it was so sad that nobody wanted this woman's button box because I had been lucky enough to get my grandmother's button box. Actually, I wound up with both of my grandmother's button boxes. So I bought this woman's button box and have been able to use those buttons in lots and lots of different projects. Some crazy quilts and now in junk journals. And there's the end of our journal. I hope that you have enjoyed looking through roses, and I'm really hoping that there's someone out there who would love to give roses a home. Thank Thanks again for watching, and you all take care. Happy journaling.